Tort Law Case Number 1, Donoghue vs. Stevenson, 1932. The Snail in the Bottle Case. Donoghue v. Stevenson explained, Law of Negligence. In 1932, a single bottle of ginger beer changed the course of legal history. Donoghue vs. Stevenson is the landmark UK case that established the modern law of negligence and the duty of care principle. In this video, we break down the shocking story, the legal issues, and how one woman's illness reshaped civil law forever, perfect for law students, lawyers in training, and anyone curious about how a snail sparked a global legal precedent. Imagine you're sitting in a cafe with a friend. You pour yourself a drink, take a few sips, and suddenly you spot something floating inside. Something that has been there for who knows how long. Now, imagine that something is a decomposed snail. It sounds like the start of a joke. But in 1928, this exact scenario became the foundation of modern negligence law. This is the incredible true story of Donoghue v. Stevenson, better known as the Snail in the Bottle case. Background story. Our tale begins in Paisley, Scotland. On August 26, 1928, Mrs. May Donoghue met a friend at the Well Meadow Cafe. Her friend ordered for her a bottle of ginger beer, manufactured by David Stevenson. The bottle was opaque, so no one could see inside. Mrs. Donoghue poured some into her glass, mixed it with ice cream, a popular drink called a float, and enjoyed the first few sips. Then she poured the rest. Out slipped a partly decomposed snail. The shock was immediate. Donoghue claimed she felt ill almost instantly, later suffering gastroenteritis and severe shock. But there was a problem. She had no direct contract with Stevenson. The drink had been bought by her friend, not by her. Under the law at the time, she could not sue for breach of contract. So, could she still get justice issue? The central question: can a manufacturer be held legally responsible for harm caused to a consumer when there is no direct contract between them? This was not just about Mrs. Donoghue. The court decision would define whether everyday people had any protection when buying goods through a middleman, in this case, a cafe. Rule. Before Donoghue versus Stevenson, liability often depended on a contractual relationship, what lawyers call privity of contract. But here, there was none. The case pushed the courts to consider a broader principle, duty of care. Lord Atkin judgment introduced the neighbor principle, the idea that you must take reasonable care to avoid acts or omissions that you can reasonably foresee would likely injure your neighbor. And who is your neighbor in law? According to Atkin, persons who are so closely and directly affected by my act that I ought reasonably to have them in contemplation. Application. Mrs. Donoghue's legal team argued that Stevenson, as a manufacturer, owed a duty of care to the end consumer, even without a contract. Why? Because it was reasonably foreseeable that a failure in quality control, like allowing a snail into a sealed bottle, could harm the person who drank it. The defense argued there was no precedent for this, and that manufacturers couldn't be responsible to everyone who might consume their product without buying directly from them. The case went all the way to the House of Lords. In a 3-2 decision, the Lords sided with Donoghue. They held that Stevenson did indeed owe a duty of care, and that failing to ensure the bottle was safe breached that duty. Conclusion. The ruling in Donoghue versus Stevenson transformed tort law. It established that a duty of care exists wherever harm is reasonably foreseeable, even without a contract. This case laid the groundwork for modern negligence claims across the Commonwealth and beyond. From one unlucky afternoon in a Scottish cafe, the law of negligence was born as we know it today. That decomposed snail was not just an accident. It was a turning point that still protects consumers almost a century later. So next time you open a sealed drink, spare a thought for Mrs. Donoghue and maybe check the bottle first. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more case law explained, and let us know in the comments which legal case you would like us to cover next.